Welcome to this Reiki healing session. If you're open to receiving, just say I receive within my heart. Gotta let some of that smoke out here. Smoke. Just wait until everybody gets on. Please put this on. Oh, I have just started. Whoa. Just trying to get my fire adjusted in here. Decided to start a little bit late. Uh, just chatting and doing some Reiki. It's a little bit cold. It's not super cold, but it's definitely getting there. Just trying to get my wood stove to burn a little bit quick. Open up the tent because it got really smoky. Honestly, I never heard of that before. Is that a holiday? Okay. I'm currently in Michigan right now. Yeah. It's cold, but it's also like right now it's still it's like the weather is a little bit unpredictable because it can be 50 degrees one day and the next day it can be extremely windy and cold. There is snow on the ground. Oh, it's a form of Reiki where I channel life force energy through my from my crown. I receive vertically and I give out horizontally Reiki. It's like the energy or the vibration, the mood, and I project it from my hands. And whoever is willing to receive the energy, they received energy. Also, just remember that as was a time shift, I do basically I set the intention to be in the time space of 10 p.m. Even though it says 4 o'clock where I'm at. Uh, Not today. Usually, what is today? Today is Friday, so I'm usually working on. Oops, I am back. I am working on the throat chakra, primarily all the chakras, but since today's Friday, I like to, how should I say, on Monday, I like to work on the root chakra. Tuesdays are sacral. Wednesday are solar plexus. Thursday is heart. Friday is throat chakra. Saturday is third eye. And Sunday is crown. Whoa. It's pretty hot in there. This will burn about probably about an hour. Burn. Oh, grand rising. Well, it depletes your creative energy, and it pollutes your consciousness. So it's very destructive. Very destructive. Whoa, it's getting smoky. I'm really trying to regulate the smoke in here. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm probably gonna take this off. Asa, grand rising. Decide to get on a little bit later than I usually get on because I was in meditation. Well, I say the best way I can only explain it. I can lead you to the information that will help you so you can do your own self gnosis. Um, so there's a channeler who channels the Christ letters, and it goes in depth and explains fully the functions of the male and the female, and it can explain it a lot better than I can right now because I am still learning myself, and I don't want to make it sound like I know everything when I clearly do not know right now. And for me, I gave up like all like self pleasure and stuff like that because I seen it wasn't me, I say. It was a calling for me to move up in my chakras. It's been about two, almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years on New Year's. The sacral chakra is where you get a lot of your creative energy. Yeah, I say you can lose a lot of energy if you don't do it correctly. Like if you're not in the correct mindset, and if you're just doing it just to gratify yourself, it can become like an addiction. It can become negative. Just how like anything, if you do it way too much, it can become negative. Because what you're seeking is basically your consciousness go up. When someone goes all the way up into your energy rises to your crown chakra because you go like this, and because you're trying to reach divine consciousness. That ecstasy when you go up is divine consciousness, and you're trying to get back to that state. But there's a better way where you don't have to constantly use your energy. Through meditation, you can consciously bring your energy up without using all of your sacral chakra energy. As I really advise studying the Christ letters. They can help tremendously when it comes to this topic because I am still learning. Maybe when I are well studied and can fully understand it and know it, then I can speak on it. But I learned that it's probably best not for me to just speak on things when I don't fully understand, because that can cause, I say, me reaping. I have to be mindful of what I speak and say and think. Climbing the mountain is very difficult, but it's very easy to slide back down. Very, very easy. It's happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. I appreciate it. All the way from New Zealand. It says welcome. It's currently almost 4 a.m. here in Michigan. But I will say that giving up a porn addiction or this self pleasure is a great step in your self development and enlightenment. And if you have a partner, I can't really give information on that, but I would say both have mutual respect because whenever you're doing the act, you're transferring energy. So both partners have to be in an uplifted state of unconditional love because as I read in the Christ letters, if you decide to lay with your partner but you have negative feelings within your heart, all that negative feelings gets transferred to the other person and all the negative feelings from that person get transferred to the other person. And all sickness and disease comes from your thoughts, thought forms, and consciousness. It's nearly 10 p.m. Friday night here. Well, it's a good thing I time shift to time 10 p.m. earlier. You're welcome. Um, I have been studying a little bit the Christ letters. I'm starting to take it serious now, and I have been writing just a little bit of notes. So today I wrote from the Christ letters 1:10. It says, all outer form was an expression of inner consciousness. Yes, as well, I don't want to quote, but from my remembrance of the Christ letters, yeah, that was from my remembrance. I don't remember what letter particular it was, but I know he explains. He goes really into depth, like the nature of the being of the masculine and feminine, and he explains how it's very important that they don't use your sexual energy to heal emotional wounds because that will only make it worse. You have to be in a complete clear state of mind. And also what I he also explains that how porn is very destructive in the consciousness, and it it really corrupts, and it really lowers your vibration because if you think about it, you're you're looking at another person but you're having lust is a very low vibrational feeling, and greed, and then you have judgment, and then it's very low vibration, so the energy drops. Now, I don't really know too much about sacred sexuality because I know there's practices that are spiritual that they have. Because I know, like Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene, she worked with sacred sexuality. So, like, I know there's right ways, and wrong ways. He said dehydration. Yeah, thinking about dehydration, I probably need to drink some water right now. It's like our society was trained to go against ourselves. So now we had to untrain ourselves to perception because it really distorts your view, especially if you're like a masculine or a male and you watch porn. It really distorts your view of the divine feminine. So it takes a lot of work to deprogram how the matrix has programmed us to view and to see the truth that lies behind. See, what I say about that is how Jesus described it. Both people are supposed to raise up in consciousness. You're supposed to go from the root, and then both of your consciousness is supposed to move up at the same time and reach the crown and touch divine consciousness. That's why I say, like, if the other person's having a whole bunch of anger and regression, and if both partners are not in a clear mind state, the emotions in the exchange is being transferred over. Because imagine both of your energy fields are merging together and becoming one energy field, and then your energy is going up to touch the crown chakra. But if both partners are not in the correct mindset or in a clear consciousness and they have a whole bunch of stuff in their minds, it can really bring the energy down because it's like there's an imbalance. Both partners have to be unconditionally loving, like truly loving from the heart. Oh, peace and blessings to you. Glad to catch you live. I don't know, something about today told me that I probably should get on today. I was feeling very um, surreal. But I'll say to you, Melody, the Christ letters be very beneficial. You can find them on YouTube. They are already. I like the one that has like the blue. It's like blue and has a picture of Jesus' face on it, or Sun and Da. It has like the planet. I believe there's like 73 audios. They're pre-recorded audios. I know I have been taking a lot of time off lately. I look at the 12th month as like the month of reflecting. Sanada Kumara. Saint Kumara and Sananda. The more we listen to the Christ letters, the more it's just more energized. Like it's undeniable for me. Yes, I believe that we are like the grid. We are helping Mother Gaia raise in vibration. You can feel it as we integrate more of ourself, as we meditate and bring our awareness down into the earth and back up. We are connected to the light comes out from the top of our head and it connects all around the planet. So when one of us raises our vibration, we all raise our vibration. When I raise my vibration, I help pull up the rest of the planet. So we help Mother Gaia expand. Wintertime is definitely, it's so interesting that 2 years ago, it kind of felt like I was doing the same thing I was did 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, I was I was not aware of any of this. But as I look back, I see that I was doing what I'm doing right now, but I was unaware that I was doing it. Because now I'm trying to remember all what happened and the steps that I took that led me to that point. Because when it hit when it hit the 1st of January in 2022 going to 2023, that's when I had my spiritual awakening or the beginnings of it. And right now, this year feels very similar to that day. I feel the energy is very strong. And I want to pass a year with flying colors so I don't have to repeat the same lessons that I had to did last year or this year. This part of the year is permeated with the energies of the Alcyon sun, the energies of the angels, the guides, guardian angels. It's like the 12th month is the month where it's way more intensified. The light is extremely intensified right now. So it's a time for inner reflection, time to go within, time to forgive, forget, and move forward. We forgive the past, we forgive all those who have caused harm. We forget about the whole situation. We move forward. We do not dwell on the past. Getting a decent amount of heat from there. When we forgive, it's like letting off a burden that drops off our shoulders. It's like you feel the veils dropping. An interesting perspective. The people who hurt us the most is actually the beings that love us the most. Because in a higher level, they purposely, on the soul plan, choose to play the villain in our lives so we can learn the lessons that we need to learn. Because ultimately, in the higher realms, we are all one. So our higher selves they don't have any resentment or anything towards each other. But our lower, I won't say lower, but our third dimensional selves does not remember that we purposely decided to ask them to play the villain in our lives so we'll be able to learn the lessons. Because without them playing the villain, we will not learn the lessons that we need to learn. So somebody has to play the dark side so that we can be able to ascend. So that's why we love our enemies. Because it takes a lot to play the dark side, because that's against our nature. So how I look at it is, yes, we feel pain, but they're in way more pain than we are. Even though, and the reason why I say that they are in more pain than we are, because we know how to bring ourselves back into balance. But that is something that they do not know how to do, or they're unaware of it, how to bring themselves back into balance. Getting pretty smoky. Got some of the smoke. All my family can go out and I'm waiting for this time. So I'm grateful for all of it. Have a good day. It's really smoky. My eyes are burning. It is pretty warm in here because out here I can see my breath. In here it's pretty good. Time to go collect more firewood tomorrow. So, what is this? I forgot. You said unable and not ready. Well, I say you can even say that you're not ready to forgive, but you can say I am beginning to forgive, starting with myself, and then I can forgive others. Because you cannot forgive others until you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself for allowing yourself to fall in vibration. Then, once you forgive yourself and build yourself up, then you can start looking at the others. Because I remember when I first heard that you have to forgive the person who's constantly attacking you, that is one of like the lessons, major lessons that I am still learning is how to accept people even when they're constantly psychically attacking, having actions, judging, criticizing. That was the lessons of this year, is accepting those who do not see how I see, accepting the one who constantly is anger and have resentment, accepting those who are still asleep, and understanding that there was a point in time where I was asleep and I was playing the game of being angry, having resentment, hatred, and understanding that I still sometimes fall into the game, but I am aware and able to recognize when I have fallen in vibration and raise myself up, because I'm also understanding that I will not always be all the way up in that high vibration, like dancing. And sometimes I have my times where I go down, then I go up, and then I go down again. And sometimes I go really up, but I'm starting to realize that the down is when I learn the most. And then I get to rest and understand the gifts. And then when it goes down again, that's when it's lessons time. And then it goes up. It's like this. We never go down past what we already learned. And that's something like very, very, how can I say, beautiful. That is, you can't forget what you have learned. You may deny it, but once you learn the truth, you cannot unlearn the truth. And also, what I'm understanding is one day my truth will change because I'll get more information of the truth. It just builds upon itself. Because sometimes I may have truth, like earlier this year, I really thought it was my truth that I had to do all these things to protect myself and people's attacking me and all this other type of stuff. But that was my truth, and it was true, but only for that reality. And once I start to realize that no one else is attacking me, it's just me attacking myself. And it always has been just me. Realizing the spiritual warfare that I always was talking about, it's not with others, is with my own bonding rejection impulses of my ego. The battles with no one else but with myself. And what my ego was telling me this whole entire year was it's the other, it's the viewer, it's the person in the store, it's the coworker, it's everybody else but me. And the lesson I am learning is it's me that is attacking me, no one else. And me attacking me caused me to attack everyone else around me by pushing them away. So once I realized that, when I heard when Bashar was explaining was no one can influence you, because if you look at the word influence, it's influence. Only I can influence me. So when someone has a negative vibration, I'm influencing myself because I'm connecting to their vibration and then believing that I have to lower my vibration. But I realize that is not so. I don't have to connect to the vibration because that will not be loving. That will not be helping them, because then I'll just be proving to them that low vibration, their low vibration is all that is there. But if I remain in a high vibration, an elevated vibration, filled with love, joy, compassion, joy, uplifting, upliftment within my heart, unconditional love, non-judgment, I can be a reflection to them to show them that there is more than just the low vibration, because I can be just the light to reflect to them. I don't have to really explain. I don't have to say, hey, look at this. You have to do this. You have to live this way. You got to be this way. I can just simply be. Like even right now, I am talking a lot, but all I really have to do is just be. It's so interesting that how can I put this into words? You said the tax. At first, you see it as a tax, but later on, you start to see it as soul cry, like the soul is crying out. So the only way they know how to ask for help is by saying, hey, look at me, look at me. Like whenever you look at the attack, what does the attack do? It's your awareness. It's almost like, imagine you're a light post, right? And they're in the darkness and they see the light. So they think if they throw a rock at the light, they can turn the light to shine on them because they want the light to shine on them. But they're completely unaware that they have a light, but they're just covered in all this tar, like bandages around their eyes, the legs. It's like bandages. And so when they see the light is pointing the different direction. So what they do is like they don't know how to express light. So what they do is how do they attract it? Because usually how they attract things is they throw something negative and then it comes to them. So they do throw in the rocks, and the rocks are the thoughts, the negative thoughts, and they throw it and they throw it and they throw it. And at first, when we are having our awakening, we see it as bonding, rejecting. So we reject their offer, reject, reject, reject. But then we start to learn how to accept but transmute immediately. So it's like instant forgive. So it's like imagine this is the attack. The attack is a reaching out, like look at me. And what happens is you forgive, then you forget about the attack, and then you move forward by sending light back to them. So what happens is you go from just I'm protecting myself, reflect, reflect, reflect to I'm protecting myself, but I receive, transmute, and it goes out. So you're like a burning fire. And how I see it is when someone throws a negative thought form, it's like a piece of coal, charcoal. And so the charcoal goes into the fire and immediately gets transmuted into light, and it burns brighter and brighter and brighter. And so then your light starts to shine on them. And then they start to see, like, oh, maybe I don't have to throw this charcoal. Maybe if I try to emanate or emulate how he's acting, maybe I'll be seen more, or I can start to see myself more. That's how I start to see it. I start to see it with my coworkers. Because before, I had this coworker who was always every day doing, throwing, 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 throwing. And then I start to realize what happened if I just change my inner attitude towards him, or change how I act towards him, and just completely drop everything how I felt about him, and just went into only emanating light, nothing else. And I started to see it. I seen he was about to attack, he was about to do it, and then he stopped, and then he just stopped, and he just looked, and he was like, oh, because it's hard to see that I stop reacting, and just start loving. We only can show and express self-love, the unhappiness and sin to claim. Ooh, this is 51%. This is like a biography for myself, because when I rewatch this video later on, I'm ultimately right now talking to my future self. Whenever I'm low, I rewatch my Reiki videos and I realize, even right now, the person I'm talking to, it is myself. But also, through me talking to myself, this is like me looking into the mirror and talking to myself, but at the same time, I'm talking to the whole at the same time. I've been doing this little experiment. I start to realize that the person in the mirror, when I look in the mirror, is a completely different person. He is the same soul, or we share the same oversoul, but we're two completely different beings. And I start to realize that because when you look in the mirror, you can feel the chakras of the other being in the mirror. And I realize that since I'm in love with my own self, that's how I'm able to understand what the person in the mirror is thinking, because only through love you'll be able to speak telepathically. So when you're looking in the mirror, you're having telepathy because you're having the same thoughts at the same time with the person in the mirror. And the person in the mirror is a person in a completely parallel universe than you are, but at the same time share the same oversoul. So when you're able to face yourself in the mirror, you're able to face the other person, your other self. And then you can start to see everyone else as a mirror reflection, just taking a different form, but just a different soul in a different form. But ultimately, it's the same. And I also, when I stand in front of the mirror, I channel Reiki to the person in the mirror, and I can feel the energy coming off the other me in the mirror. Because at first, when I look at the mirror, I didn't feel the energy. But as I observe myself in the mirror longer and longer, I can start to feel the aura or the energy coming off the other being. It is almost like the mirror is not even there. It's like, it can't even explain it. It's like you can physically feel the energy of just how I'm pushing energy through this phone. You can feel the energy through the phone. When you do in the mirror, it's like amplified. Your energy is like amplified through the mirror. It's a very interesting experience. Loving ourselves through the discomfort of disconnection. That is loving yourself through the illusion of disconnection. That is something that what is it? It's our belief system. One of the negative belief systems. It tells us that we are disconnected, but that is like one of the times where it's like a test. I see that as like one of the ultimate tests. Do you truly believe that you are connected even when your outside reality is telling you that you are not? Even when it feels like that you're not, that's when you go within your heart and you ask Father, Mother, Source, Creator for courage, strength, realization, and the inner knowing that I am always connected. And this connection is only an illusion that has been created by my mind. For I am always connected because I have the God spark within me. And since Source Creator lives within me and is all around me, I am never truly disconnected. I am always connected. Eventually, you start to feel a stream of light that's constantly moving through your body. It feels like it's moving, I would say, two streams going down from the side of the face and one stream going up. That that's how I feel it though. It may be different for you. We all feel it differently. Oh, good morning. Sometimes the obstacles that we face are actually obstacles that has been orchestrated on purpose to test us, to see how we react. For instance, here's an example. I go to the store and I purchase a new pair of earbuds, and then I go across the street and I'm happy that I have a new pair of earbuds, and I cross the street and go to work, only to realize that I dropped my earbuds in the middle of the street and they got ran over and crushed and destroyed. At that very instance, I had two options. The first option, which is my mind, my ego mind, started to speak to me, and it was like, why is this happening to me? And then I replied to my ego mind, it is happening for me. This is a test. And the test is, what it's trying to say is, nothing belongs to me. It was never mine. I'm grateful that I have the finances to purchase a new pair of headphones. And ultimately, my world is not going to end because I have lost the earbuds. And ultimately, when I said that, I felt this major weight fall off me. And then I had another instance. I was working and the computer started to glitch out and it messed up. And I heard my ego mind was like, oh, your coworker is attacking you. He's sending psychic energy and he's disrupting your work. It's your coworker's fault. And I replied to my ego. I said, no, that is not true. I said, I am doing this. My own consciousness is doing this. Because everything around me is a reflection of my thoughts. And I realized that my third eye was interfacing with the technology around me, and it was causing everything to freeze, glitch, and malfunction. So I said, maybe if I calm my mind, the technology around me will start to work smoothly. So I allow myself to be calm. And I allow myself to slow down and realize that it is not the other, it is me, because everything around me is consciousness made visible. Awe, taste, touch, sound, sight, hearing, sensations is all consciousness made visible. Because at the same time, I listen to the Christ letters as I'm working, and sometimes Jesus or Son and Da, he can alter the functions of technology, like my phone, or sometimes, like if you want me to pay attention, you freeze the phone, like you completely freeze it, so I can't swipe up or left, up or down, left or right, because I need to listen to that information. This is the one I have written today, just a footnote. I should have wrote more, but I was in a hurry. But I'm definitely going to be writing more. It says, all outer forms was an expression of inner consciousness. All outer forms are an expression of inner consciousness. Welcome to the stream. I feel a new person's here. Welcome. Time shift, 10 p.m. Dear Father, Mother, Life, Source Creator, I ask for restoration of the left eye. whenever I speak on these things, I know that I will be tested in the following weeks to go by. I will be tested in everything that I speak. That is why I need to be conscious and aware of everything I speak, because it echoes within the consciousness of everyone and it comes back to me. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic, and wherever vibration you tune your heart to, you attract the electric thought forms that's magnetized. So I'm asking my spiritual masters, guardian angels, for the clearing of the magnetic and electric impulses of my informational field. Thank you. It's getting a bit cold out in here again, so let's open up. Open that up. Also feeling the energy shift again. It's getting close to 5 o'clock energy. How I say this is the time where everybody around me is starting to wake up. So the consciousness is now coming out of sleep. And I have talked for quite a bit, and that uses a lot of energy. So now I am going to be silent for the remainder. raising the vibration higher. Transmuting the light. I need to stretch. Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. Oh, this phone is lagging. There we go. Time for a different color. Listening to some shamanic music right now. I don't think everybody can hear it yet because I got a different pair of headphones on. But yeah. And thank you. Gotta stand up real quick. Gotta stretch. I got something in my eye. Give me one sec. I think it's an eyelash. Luckily, I got a mirror. I wonder where I put my other crystal at. Grab some more firewood. ears need to breathe. Kind of. No, I had headphones on, but whenever I put earbuds in, you can hear the music at the same time as me. But I had headphones on, so you couldn't hear anything. Sorry, maybe I should put some meditation music on. I have an idea. I have just the right song for this one. Oh, oh. Who's playing this song? This song right here. When I was going through that crazy mushroom adventure where I literally thought I was dying, I played this song and it calmed me down a lot. It makes me think of being in the water of humpback whales. In humpback whales, the singing through the water. Like imagine you see a whale and it's like doing a back, but the sound is radiating from its heart. Like, that's how I see it. I feel spirited. I feel the cheese kind of blocked my right hand. I don't. Oh, why not? This is a ginger Michaels. If I can play that one on the live. All over the place right now. Well, I'm glad I have a whole lot of battery. I haven't even used one bar yet. Oh, it stopped playing. Some feedback. Yeah, that's pretty smoky there. No, you probably should close that. I can feel you releasing the blockages. I felt it in my hand as well. Thank you. Thank you for your meditation. I can definitely feel it raising the vibration right now. I'm just feeling the energy differently. I cannot put it into words, but you have my gratitude. It is now getting close to the time for me to end the stream because it's almost 6 o'clock. Time is flying by super fast. I got off work at 2 and as I look up, it's already almost 6 o'clock. And I have a Zoom call in the morning. So may your day or night be full of light. Thank you for this co-creation. Thank you for everyone who shared their energy in bringing balance to us and the collective. Namaste.